Hey guys, my name is Savannah Springer and I am a nurse practitioner with 4 years of experience in the injectable and aesthetics industry. I'm happy to be here and I wanted to go ahead and take the next step and create a YouTube for you guys because I have had a lot of young nurses, a lot of patients say that they were interested in that. And so here we are, guys. To get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and then tell you some tips and tricks to get into the aesthetics industry. Okay, so I actually started my nursing career in the CTICU at Duke, and before that I was also a nurse tech like in college, and I also did some nurse internships where I rotated through different ICUs and medical surge floors. I personally did not like the ICU. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the nurses in the ICU. You guys are rock stars. It is such a hard job. But I kind of knew like this is going to be great experience for me. I'm going to learn a lot, but it's not what I want to do long term. So in that time, I was just like spinning my wheels. I was like, how can I get into aesthetics? It's so expensive. You know, I personally could not afford to take a $5,000 class. I mean, I paid for my own college. I always had a job in college. Like I came out of college having to pay off my own student loan. So I was like, there's just no way. So anyways, it's still doable for people that do not have, you know, the excess means to get into it. My advice for you would be similar to what I did. I honestly applied for probably 50, maybe more jobs. I was constantly, you know, DMing people, asking if they were hiring. I was watching YouTube videos, you know, getting some educational content background so that I wouldn't sound stupid if I, you know, landed an interview. There are some great resources out there, and that's why I'm making this for you guys. Number one, Dan, he's in Canada. Dan Medical Aesthetics. I've watched all of his content, and I learned so much doing that. And then also Dr. Tim Pierce. Both of them are incredible practitioners in the industry. So I would say, you know, even if you're in the ICU or you're in, you know, medical surge or wherever you are and you're like, I want to get into aesthetics, but I cannot spend $5,000 right now. Get on YouTube, start like learning a little bit about the industry, start studying, and then apply to a bunch of jobs and put yourself out there. I finally landed a job in a toxic, awful corporate medical spa. And when I'm telling you, like I was just like, I'll take whatever I can get. I was working Monday through Friday and then every other Saturday, like 8 to 5. So my hours really like, they were honestly worse than the ICU because I was working more days instead of like doing, you know, your 312s where you can stack them. And obviously, you know, I didn't really want to work every other Saturday, but I was working every other Saturday. I remember even on my birthday, I was like, are you serious? But anyways, doesn't matter. Get whatever you can and you can learn from there. So when I landed that job, I was seeing 20 patients a day. I was trained in 3 days. I was just thrown out there. I was the only nurse. So like it was awful, but I learned a lot. And, you know, you kind of have to start where you can. So that's my advice is put yourself out there, apply to a ton of jobs. Even if it's not your dream medical aesthetics job, if medical aesthetics is what you want to do, you have to be grindy and you have to take whatever opportunity you can. Okay, so my next piece of advice is, you know, if you land a job and you're like, this is not ideal, but I'm in medical aesthetics, what do I do now? Well, you keep learning and you keep adding to your skill set. And, you know, after you've done that and you're in a place where you think that you can be a valuable asset, take your resume and walk it into practices. Guys, I walked my resume probably into like, I don't know, 6 to 10 practices maybe. Like I literally would walk into practices that weren't even hiring and I was like, here's my resume. I'm an injector, you know, I'm really eager and I like love to learn. And I mean, people will take you more seriously if you're willing to walk into the resume. Make yourself look nice, wear something nice, be, look the part, because that is going to set you apart. If you just apply to stuff online, how are you going to stand out? So that is a huge piece of advice as well that I would give. And I say all that to say, my first job that I landed in the industry was not ideal. It was not, it's not where I stayed though. And you have to think like big picture and, long term. So your career is linear, right? Like you're always growing. And I am a big advocate also for like, do what makes you happy. Like if you go somewhere and they're not serving you any longer, and you know that you bring value to the table, go somewhere else. And like I'm saying, I put in my time at the place that was toxic, didn't treat me well. I learned my skill set, and then I went somewhere better. And I don't feel bad about that. I think it's 2024, gone are the days of pensions, gone are the days of your employer really caring that much about you. Sorry, it's just the truth, sadly. And so when you feel like you're not in a great environment, go somewhere better, and there will be more opportunity for you because you put in that initial hard work, and that is what I did. Okay, so the next tip I'm gonna give is a little bit about social media. You really have to market yourself in this industry. This is where aesthetics is different than any other type of medical specialty, right? If you work in the hospital, you show up and you will have a crap ton of patients. Like it's just inevitable, right? In medical aesthetics, you have to market yourself. You have to work for every single patient. You need to make them happy. You need to care about the result. You need to care about the patient. You need to be available. You need to be the best, because you want to not only, inject that patient, you want to retain that patient. So really take good care and spend quality time with them. When you start out, you're not going to be the best injector, and we're always learning. I'm not the best injector, but I'm better than I was when I started. And so you really need to do the best and shine on your patient care and your follow through and following up with them and making sure that they are happy. Super important. Make sure you get a lot of before and afters. You really want to help build your brand, because that is how you market yourself. Create an Instagram, and I personally would not sign anything saying that a medical practice owned my Instagram. I did that in the past, so I'm telling you guys this to learn from my mistakes. It's heartbreaking to put all of your energy into your work and putting it on a page and putting your logo on it, and then someone being like, just kidding, it's not yours, you signed this stupid piece of paper. So don't do that. If you're gonna work for somewhere that's going to have crazy, stupid, in my opinion, stipulations about social media and owning your work, then I would make them, they need to market you. They need to be responsible for that. But if you kind of have a little bit of autonomy, which I'm a big advocate for, then you really want to market yourself and you want to do a good job of that. Okay guys, so I think this was a good kind of brief intro on what you can do. So remember, be confident and apply to jobs even if you don't have the experience. Walk your resume in. Be confident, because if you never ever apply and you never ask, you will never get the opportunity. You just have to get over the fear of failure. You're gonna fail 100 times. You're gonna get so many rejections until you get that one yes. So keep putting yourself out there and be eager, stay positive. Number 2, utilize YouTube because it's free. Follow Dan, follow Dr. Tim Pierce. There's so many great educational videos out there. So utilize those before you spend thousands of dollars on a course. Make sure that it's what you want to do. Number 3, after that, you can invest in a Patreon. So you can spend, $40, $50, $60 a month. And that's such a great return on investment because you're going to learn so much. Again, I would recommend Dan Medical Aesthetics. He's in Canada. I actually just shadowed him in person. And then there's other people on Patreon too. Erica Berry, Injector Bunny. She's wonderful. I used to watch her Patreon all the time. So make sure you utilize that. start marketing yourself, start getting before and afters, and just be nice to everyone. Stay positive. This is a toxic industry, and I'm happy that I can provide some insight and hopefully some encouragement, because if I can do it, I know you guys can do it. I did not come from family money. I absolutely paved the way for this, myself, and I'm confident that if I can do it, anyone can do it. So hope you guys have a great day, and if you have any questions, drop them below.